It's Mrs. Vicki again, and I'm here for story time. I'm so glad you like to join me for story time in my backyard, out in the big world. So my creek is running really strong from the rain, so I'll have to read really loud so you can hear me over the beautiful sound of the waterfall. Well, I've noticed that summer is ending, the days are getting shorter, the nights are getting longer, and each day gets a little bit cooler, and that makes leaves turn on the trees, and it also tells apples that it's almost time for picking. I love books about apples. I have so many, and I hope you'll listen to other story times about all the different apple books we can read. Today we're going to read one of my very favorite books. It's a scholastic book called A Day at the Apple Orchard, and it's written by Megan Faulkner and Adam Kraweski. Here we go. A Day at the Apple Orchard. It's a sunny day in early fall, perfect for apple picking. Before we go in the orchard, we learn how apples are grown. It has taken many months for them to grow and ripen. Just like all living things, apples need the right amount of rain and sun to be healthy. The life of an apple begins in the spring. During the winter months, the tree doesn't grow or change. This is called dormancy. That's a big word, dormancy. It's like sleeping. Warm weather awakens the tree and it begins a new cycle of growth. Leaves push out from the tiny buds. 5-petal blossoms grow in beautiful shades of pink or white. Apple farmers set up beehives in the orchard. When a honeybee lands on an apple blossom, it sips the sweet nectar. Tiny grains of pollen stick to its legs. As the bee flies from flower to flower, the pollen it carries fertilizes the blossoms. This is called pollination. That's another big word, pollination. As spring turns into summer, the flower petals fall from the trees, and it's pretty. It looks like pink snow on the ground. On the branches, ovaries begin to grow. They will become apples. All summer long, the apples get bigger and bigger, and as autumn approaches, the apples start to ripen. They turn from green to red. Some types of apples, like Granny Smith, stay green. Others, such as Golden Delicious, turn yellow. By late summer or early fall, the apples are fully ripened. It's harvest time! That's the most fun time to go on a field trip to the apple orchard. We pick up our baskets and get ready for a tractor ride. The tractor takes us into the orchard. We are picking Empire apples today because they are the ripest. Before we start, we learn the best way to pick up an apple. Instead of pulling it off the tree, we must turn the eye. It's the bottom. It's the apple eye. Instead of pulling from the tree, we must turn the eye to the sky and tug gently. We want to make sure that the bud is not damaged for next year. It's time to start picking. Apples bruise easily, so we place them very gently into the basket. While we are picking, we see wire guards at the bottom of the trees. We aren't the only ones who like apple trees. Apple farmers must safeguard the trees from hungry creatures such as rabbits, rodents, and insects. Our baskets are full. It's time to head back to the farm. Now we sample the apples, crisp and delicious. Next, we see how apple juice and cider are made with an old-fashioned hand press. First, the apples are put into the press, then we turn the crank the cider comes out of the bottom. I love apple cider. Then we have a taste test. Do you like apple cider? It's been so much fun learning about apples. We can't wait to come back next year. The end. So we learned a lot about apples and apple trees in the apple orchard, and now we're going to do a really fun apple activity. But first, get your crisp, ripe apple, and let's all take a big bite. Now I have energy for our activity. Let's go. Okay, well, I've been eating my crisp apple. Did you eat yours? Pretty yummy. And now I have everything we need to make our apple craft. So, hey, that's a pretty good model. I think we'll try to do that. And you'll need a red crayon or marker and some green paper and a paper plate. And we're going to use this as our model for this adorable little apple craft. So I took a bite out of this side. It's gonna be our apple. And I took a bite out of this side. And it could be messy like a bite mark. It's not a straight line, but you can make a straight line if you want. And you're gonna take your red crayon, color the apple skin. I'm gonna use my marker. Red skin here, red skin here. Okay, once you have your apple skin on, we're going to draw what's in the middle of the apple that makes the new apples. Right, the apple seeds. So we're gonna draw a few apple seeds, like the star shape if you cut it sideways. We'll just do it like that. And then you're going to need to cut out your apple leaves. We'll get your glue stick. I forgot to tell you, you need a glue stick. And we're going to put a little bit of glue just on the very, very tip of the leaf. Not the whole leaf, just the very tip. And we're going to glue it to the top of the apple. Well, I guess we'll glue it to the back. That way it looks more real, because we didn't want to eat that leaf, right? So a little bit of that. Cycling my paper plates. Okay, so there it is. Your nice, crisp, red, yummy, delicious apple. I hope you really had fun today. And I can't wait to take you on the field trip to the apple orchard. So be on the lookout for that next video where we're gonna go visit a real apple orchard. Okay, boys and girls, thanks for joining me. Bye.